Good day, everyone. Welcome to Bible study. We are currently busy with the book of Ruth, and today we will do Ruth chapter 3. Now, last week we saw a need was met, and that was the need of food. And today we'll look at another need, and that is a more long-term need, the need for descendants. Okay, so chapters 1 and 2 build up to what happens in chapters 3 and 4. So let's get reading, verses 1 to 5. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, should I not seek rest for you, that it may be well with you? Is not Boaz our relative, with whose young woman you were? See, he is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Wash therefore, and anoint yourself, and put on your cloak, and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. But when he lies down, observe the place where he lies. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what to do." And she replied, "All that you say, I will do." So what do we see here? We see in chapter 2, Ruth took initiative to say, "Hey, I will go and find food for us." But now it's Naomi's chance to take initiative. And she's saying that, "Hey, I think it's time for us to go out and find someone, or not find someone, but get that person to redeem us." And she sends Ruth out with a plan to go to Boaz. Now, this is a very scary type of thing for any woman to do when it comes to a man, to go and lie at his feet and to ask him to come and redeem her. But how does Ruth respond? And I think this is the beauty of this first few verses. Ruth says to her mother-in-law, "All that you say, I will do." Isn't that just incredible? Like she's replying to Naomi, but she's also actually replying to what God wants to do. She's saying, "All that you say, I will do." And this reminds me of another story in the Bible, or another woman actually in the Bible, and that is Mary, the mother of Jesus. You know, when the angel appeared to her, what did she say to the angel after the angel explained everything to her about the virgin birth? She said to him, "Let it be done to me according to your will." Now, isn't this exciting? Two women that is in the genealogy of Jesus Christ almost used the same words and said, "Whatever it is, Lord, whatever you want to do, I will do it." So I don't know where you are at, and I don't know how you respond to when God is speaking to you. But isn't this just an inspiring story to know that both of these women were incredibly blessed by God because of their faithfulness and obedience, and saying, almost like Jesus did in the cross, "Not my will be done, but your will be done." Let's get to the next few verses 6 to 13. So she went down to the threshing floor and did just as her mother-in-law had commanded her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain. Then she came softly and uncovered his feet, and lay down. So I just want to stop there for a moment. Why did she lay down at his feet? You know what? It's a sign of submission. It's a sign of, I'm not just barging in, but I'm at your feet. I'm submitted to whatever you want to do or say to me. At midnight, the man was startled and turned over, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. He said, "Who are you?" And she answered, "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer." You know what? I think when Ruth went to lie down at the feet of Boaz, she must have been so nervous. I think her heart must have been beating so quickly. She doesn't know what's coming. She doesn't even know how Boaz is going to respond. And when she said these words, "I am Ruth, your servant," it doesn't mean slave. It means maid servant. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer. I think she practiced that the whole time while she was lying there, and that's why it came out so quickly. I can just imagine her saying these words very quickly. And this is just amazing how Boaz responds. He says, "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have made this last kindness greater than the first, in that you have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you ask. For all my fellow townsmen know that you are a worthy woman." just for interesting sake, the worthy woman there is the same word used to describe Boaz in chapter 2. It's also the same word used to describe the worthy woman in Proverbs 31:10. And now it is true that I am a redeemer, yet there is a redeemer nearer than I. Remain tonight, and in the morning, if he will redeem you, good, let him do it. But if he is not willing to redeem you, then, as the Lord lives, I will redeem you. Lie down until the morning. In this part of the story, I love Ruth's boldness and her obedience. But what I also love is how Boaz responds to her obedience and to her boldness. And why is he saying to her, like, this kindness is even greater than the first one? Because the first one was her letting go of everything to follow Naomi and to care for Naomi and to trust in God. The second one is that she's not thinking about herself again. Because what is he saying? You could have gone for younger guys, but no, you choose to do the right thing to not only redeem you, but your family, your mother-in-law. In other words, instead of going for the young people or young man who you want, you now come to a guy who can redeem you. And this is for me so beautiful, because remember, if we relate and we know that Boaz is a picture of Jesus Christ, I was thinking to myself, you know what, when Ruth came to Boaz, she basically said, hey, will you marry me? Okay? When she said, will you redeem me? She actually said, hey, will you marry me? So why didn't Boaz, when he knew he was a redeemer, not before this already ask her and said to her, hey, listen here, I will redeem you, come and marry me? Why didn't he do that? Well, this is the beauty of this. He wanted her to make the choice. She had to have a choice, not just for him to force himself on her and say, hey, I will redeem you, but for her to choose the fact that he will redeem her, and not for her to go after some other young man. And this is so significant, because that is just how Jesus is. He will never force us to come to him that he might redeem us. We always have a choice. We always have a choice to go and lay at the feet in submission to Jesus and asking him, Lord, will you redeem me? He's not forcing it on us. And that is, for me, such a beautiful part of the story. Another beautiful part of this is that Boaz says to her, listen here, I am a redeemer, but there's a guy closer than I am. And I will sort it out. As long as the Lord lives, I will redeem you. So just wait until morning. So what is he saying? I want to do this the right way. I'm not going to take a shortcut. There's actually a guy, that's a closer relative to you, but I'm not just going to skip that and just get married to you. No, I want to do this the right way. And this also reminds me about Jesus. God is a righteous judge. He's a just judge. So he does things the right way. And that is why Jesus had to die on the cross, so that we could be redeemed in the right way. And the same is illustrated here by Boaz. Let's get to the final few verses, verse 14 to 18. So she lay at his feet until the morning. Why? Why do you think she lay there until morning? Not because of anything else, and I think protection and safety. Because remember, it was night, and there was a whole lot of things happening around them, and so it was for her safety. But arose before one could recognize another. And he said, let it not be known that the woman came to the threshing floor. I think he's speaking to his servants here and telling them, hey, don't go gossip. There's nothing to gossip about. And he said, bring the garment you are wearing and hold it out. So she held it out, and he measured out 6 measures of barley and put it on her. Then she went into the city, and when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, how did you fare, my daughter? Then she told her all that the man had done for her, saying, these 6 measures of barley he gave to me. For he said to me, you must not go back empty-handed to your mother-in-law. She replied, wait, my daughter, until you learn how the matter turns out. For the man will not rest, but will settle the matter today. I love this. And when I read these few verses, there was one thing that stood out for me, and that was the number 6. Why did he use exactly 6 measures? They could have just said he gave her a lot of grain, but they said he gave her 6. and even the type of measurement isn't significant, but the number is. So what is the number 6? What is the meaning of the number 6? It means incomplete. Okay, so when he's sending Ruth back with 6 measures, and he says, don't go back empty-handed to your mother-in-law. In other words, I'm giving you food, but I'm also giving you a message. He's saying to the mother-in-law, this thing is incomplete. Remember, God made the world, the earth, everything, creation in 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested. Now, this is what's so beautiful for me about the Bible. In the first verse of this very chapter, Naomi said to Ruth, I want you to find rest. Okay? I want you to find rest, that safety and security. And here in the end, she says to Ruth, wait, my daughter, until you learn how the matter turns out, for the man will not rest. Again, that same word, but will settle the matter today. In other words, Boaz gave her a message and saying, hey, this is incomplete, but it will be completed. Now, as we end off today, I want to say this to you. You know what? Naomi stepped out in faith when she said to Ruth, go, let's ask the Redeemer to come and redeem us. But here in the end, she also talks to her daughter and says, wait. And I want to say to you that you might have stepped out in faith and went to and go and lie down at Boaz's feet, whatever circumstance that might be for you. And you feel so bold because you did what God wanted you to do, but now things are not immediately working out as you wanted. Don't get impatient. Maybe it's just a season of waiting. Maybe it's a season of 6 measures of barley, but the 7th one is coming. The rest is coming. So yes, let's end off with that.